Well, hey again, this is Dave Dubeau, host of Canadian Profits TV. For this week's episode, for our business breakthrough, I'm going to talk about live by price, die by price. Sounds kind of ominous, but is very, very true. For a real estate tip, we've got my good friend again, Darren Weeks, coming in to talk about a tip he has about raising capital, focusing on the relationship. And for our mindset minute, I'll share a little bit about the power of a mastermind and how that can help you. Stay tuned. Okay, so for today's business breakthrough, I want to talk about live by price, die by price. So what does that mean? That means a lot of times when we get into business for ourselves, whether it's actual business or real estate investing, we really minimize the value of our products or services, and we try to be the low price competitor. Just seems natural. If you're the new kid on the block, you want to go in and try and grab market share by being the cheapest. Well, that might be common sense, however, it's really, really stupid. I know from firsthand experience, that's what I tried to do when I was down in Costa Rica with my first business, a language training company. Went in, tried to be the cheapest guy on the block. I was the cheapest guy on the block. However, that also meant that our profit margins were so small, we couldn't do anything extra. So we could just barely keep up with the minimal level of service that we were promising. When I learned this tip from, actually it was from Jay Abraham originally, I learned this from, I immediately went out and doubled my prices overnight, and not to my existing customers, but to new customers. Had no problem attracting new customers at that. I was able to offer way better guarantee, far, far, far better service. In fact, I could offer the best service in the market, which I did, which just leapfrogged me ahead of all my competitors with my guarantee and the service that I was able to provide. Plus, I was able to pay my employees a much higher wage than they were accustomed to and retain the best people. So take a look at it. If you're tempted to be competing on price, see what you can do to add value to your product or service and make it a premium priced product or service. You'll get a far better client or customer, patient, investor, etc., and you'll make a lot more money and you'll be a lot happier. That's your business breakthrough for this week. All right, hi there again. This is another one of our real estate tips. And again, we've got my good friend Darren Weeks here with us. How are you doing, Darren?
Good, thanks.
So I've asked Darren to share with us some of his experience and knowledge about raising capital, because if anybody knows about raising money, it's this guy. Over $150 million, bought hundreds and hundreds of properties, helped grow his own business with that investment money. So Darren, tell us a tip for the viewers out there when they're trying to approach people to raise money. What kind of suggestion would you give them?
Well, I think the big thing is you have to realize your investors are only going to write you a check if they like you and trust you, first of all. And liking and trusting somebody doesn't happen over coffee one time.
Right.
So you can't be in a rush to rush the process. What you have to do is build a very stable relationship. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time for them to read your emails, get your newsletters, etc. It could take 3, 6, 9, 12 months before somebody actually says, yes, I now think I'm going to move forward, because they're testing you all the time. So build a genuine relationship, care about the person, and if you do that properly, you'll have that investor for basically your life.
Good advice. So they got to know you, like you, and trust you. That takes time. It's not an overnight kind of a thing. Chances are it's not going to happen over your first coffee with the person.
Right.
So be prepared for that ahead of time and plan for it. And you touched on it. Have that strategy where you're consistently keeping in touch with those people.
Important.
Much, much more likely to invest with you in the long run. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, and for today's Mindset Minute, I want to talk a little bit about the power of a mastermind. Now, I've been part of different masterminds for years now, especially with Glazer Kennedy. I was part of their elite titanium mastermind group for three years with Bill Glazer. That was a lot of fun, very, very expensive. In fact, I invested over $40,000 a year to be part of that group between what I paid plus all of my travel, et cetera, et cetera. It was an expensive investment. However, it definitely was an investment, and a lot of what I do and what you see is from what I learned from those people. Nowadays, I have a different kind of a mastermind that I'm doing, a much smaller one that I'm doing with my good friend Dan Locke and DJ Richaud. So it's just the three of us right now. We might be adding on as we go along, and we're focusing on what we do for putting on events and launching products and that sort of thing. The power of the mastermind is just immense because you are able to have other people, very smart people, take a look at you and your situation with what we call fresh eyes. So what might be a big problem for you that's really stumping you, there's an easy solution that these folks can come up with for you, or they know somebody who can help you out. So I highly recommend that if you're in business for yourself, you're thinking about investing in real estate or whatever, that you either join a mastermind that somebody else is putting on or start one of your own. You'll definitely be happy that you did. That's your Mindset Minute for this week. Well, thanks again for tuning into this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. As you're watching this, I should be, hopefully, fingers crossed, lounging about on a boat somewhere in the Caribbean. If I'm not, that's a very bad April Fool's joke on me, I'll tell you that. Anyhow, I hope you're having a great start of April. What else is going on? If you live on Vancouver Island in Victoria, in or near Victoria, Duncan, or Nanaimo, we're going to be coming through town with our three-way payday rent-to-own live event, how to do rent-to-own real estate investing the right way, win-win-win. Come check that out. Get a book for free when you come to the event and you bring a guest. You can check it all out at threewaypayday.com. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.